Hi, Jeremy Young, founder of Atomos. Got some big news for you. First of all, we're 10 years old. So come to our website, have a look at how we're celebrating the 10-year anniversary. And as part of that milestone for Atomos, we've been beavering away on the next generation of products, looking at how they affect COVID-related workflows as well as the traditional workflow. So the first cab off the rank is a new Ninja 5. We call it Ninja 5 Plus, and it's 8K 30 capable in RAW, as well as 4K 120. Our launch partner will be Zcam, where we can do 4K 120. We'll be unlocking 8K on the relevant cameras as they come and are unlocked by the camera makers, so you can look forward to those announcements. We're going to be showing you all of the new features of Ninja 5 Plus, as well as the cameras it supports, how the workflow is improved in an online event to show you who's using it, how they're using it. We've been in development for quite some time. You can see what we've been doing in all types of production and how to improve it in the current world. Pull up a chair, watch the event. We're going to take you all the way through it now with influencers, our team, as well as the camera maker teams. This is a real revolution in video, as Atomos likes to do. 8K ProRes RAW is here on Ninja 5 Plus, 4K 120 slow motion in 4K to add into all your great productions.
Hello, and welcome to the Atomos Ninja 5 Plus online event. I'm James Weatherby. You've already heard from Atomos founder Jeremy Young. I'm also going to be joined by cinematographer Amy Dellar, video editor Rob La Terra, Atomos CTO Trevor Elborn, as well as Zcam CEO Kinson Liu. We're here today to introduce the new Ninja 5 Plus, which is the newest member of the Ninja 5 lineup and joins the original Ninja 5. This product comes packed with new features, which we will be discussing throughout today's event. We'll be focusing on 4K high frame rate from the Zcam E2 and Zcam E2 M4 when combined with the Ninja 5 Plus. Amy Dellar, cinematographer, was lucky enough to get her hands on the Ninja 5 Plus and Zcam E2 M4 combination and shot some incredible footage that we would like to share with you shortly. We'll also get to hear about Amy's experience with some behind-the-scenes footage. Join us now as we watch Amy's content birthday wish.
My name's Amy Dellar and I'm a cinematographer based in Melbourne, Australia. Birthday Wish was a really special concept to me because I wanted to play around with that feeling of love at first sight and how we could capture that and make the audience feel what the characters were feeling. Being able to shoot at 100 frames per second really allowed me to capture things like eye contact and micro gestures, which we used to build tension throughout the clip. The fact it has touchscreen meant I wasn't fumbling around in the dark trying to change settings. Everything was right there in front of me and really easy to access. Usually working at such a high frame rate in a low light setting is quite a challenge and at best a bit of a risk, not knowing how noisy something might be, having to usually lower resolution, that kind of thing. So being able to shoot up to 120 frames at 4K using the full sensor is such a step up from what I'm used to. My editor Rob often struggles with other RAW codecs but found that ProRes RAW played back smoothly without dropping frames, even without proxies. It means that we can get finished films to clients faster and our colorists also appreciate the file sizes. ProRes RAW has really given me the confidence when I approach a scene. I know I have all this latitude to play around with in post, and I feel like I can just go ahead and create without having to worry too much.
Wow, that footage is just stunning. The colours, the detail, and the slow motion shots especially. Amy, you really did put the camera and monitor combination through its paces. But before we dive into the idea behind Birthday Wish, I would like to start our conversation first around the technology itself and the thought process from Atomos in creating a product that enables creators like Amy to fulfill their creative vision. I'm joined by Trevor Elborn, the CTO of Atomos. Trevor, could you tell us a bit more about the technology behind the Ninja 5 Plus?
Under the hood, the Ninja 5 Plus is the next iteration of our Ninja 5 platform. It fundamentally at the heart of the system has a new version of our, without getting too nerdy about things, our Atom IC, which is the core processing unit within the Ninja, which gives it its processing power to handle high frame rate 4K video. When we were working with the camera makers over the last few years, it was obvious that they were going to come with new versions of cameras that were going to enable creators like Amy and Rob to do really interesting things with high frame rate 4K video. So back then we started to think about ways in which we could enable that to happen for the creators. So in planning the original Ninja 5, we had this upgrade path in mind which would allow us to offer those features for the creators. And so with the Ninja 5 Plus, what we've been able to do is deliver our next version of that Atom IC core processing chip, which unlocks the performance required to allow Amy and Rob to shoot those 4K high frame rate sequences.
Wow. Atomos is very well recognised for its relationships with camera manufacturers. Could you tell us a bit more about the long-term planning with Zcam to be able to achieve the end product of such a powerful external monitor recorder for HDMI cameras?
Yeah, absolutely. The relationship with Zcam was really, really critical in this project. Obviously, we're just a monitor recorder, we don't own the camera, so having a close relationship with Zcam was really important in delivering the Ninja 5 Plus and the features we're able to unlock. And it's really important to have partners who are like-minded, who are as passionate about delivering these features for creatives like Amy and Rob as we are. And so Zcam were on board very early on, very enthusiastic about the project, were very open to making the project happen in a relatively short period of time, and really were very fundamentally important in helping us unlock the features that the Ninja 5 Plus is able to deliver.
Such great insight from Atomos. Now, Amy, let's focus on the beautiful content that this powerful workhorse combination has enabled you to create. What was the idea behind Birthday Wish?
The idea behind Birthday Wish was to really explore the moment that two people fall in love at first sight. And I really wanted to play around with the feeling of how I could convey that feeling and that chemistry through the technology.
Could you briefly talk about your favourite sections of the video and why?
Yeah, I think we both have the same kind of favourite part, but it's the high frame rate shot when the light's kind of going over the lead actress's face. Yeah, I thought that worked really well in such a high frame rate, and just being able to see that kind of light in slow motion and being able to capture her emotion in such an intimate kind of setting and being able to linger on it, kind of just like embrace the beauty of it, which was great.
Yeah. I think my favourite moment in the video was when they finally come together and we had this really nice, unmotivated, sort of peachy pink light hitting one side of their face and falling off into darkness on the other side, and just capturing their hands, them kind of coming together, and we had some sparklers going off in the foreground, which again at a high frame rate created this really nice sort of bokeh moments in the foreground, which Rob actually said in the edit, oh, sparks are flying, which I hadn't sort of conceptualized, but I was like, yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's what it is. So yeah, I think just being able to have fun in that sort of dream moment, having these unmotivated kind of sparklers flying and unmotivated lighting was, worked really well for it and was just fun in creating, a special moment.
Could you tell us about what it was like to shoot in ProRes RAW? And was this your first experience shooting RAW?
This was my first time shooting RAW, and it was a really great experience. Just having that dynamic range and room to move in the grade, let alone being able to light a scene how I wanted to, which in this case of Birthday Wish, we had a low light scene set apart from the more high key reality component of the film. So going into that low light, sort of moody, intimate moment, I was really able to feel confident that once we did get into the grade, I would be able to have that room with exposure and have the room to move with colour as well, whether I wanted to saturate it a little bit more or desaturate it, keep it a little bit more muted and soft. So yeah, it was a great experience and a really amazing picture quality, which is really exciting.
Rob, how did you go with the post-production of this project?
The post-production was kind of seamless, really, in terms of shooting or editing in RAW. Back in the day, I think most editors would shudder if they'd realise that a project was shot in RAW back in like the Cinema DNG days, when it would just increase the workflow completely. So, from having to transcode to piecing together like a billion still images. So yeah, with the development of such tech like the Atomos NINJA 5 Plus, it does make the post-RAW workflow a lot more seamless. And so my biggest thing with editing RAW is, am I going to have to transcode this footage, or is it going to play back in real time without dropping frames? So yeah, it was seamless. I was able to kind of edit in full res without dropping any frames, which made my life a lot easier. Didn't have to transcode. Back in the day with a lot of RAW codecs, like your file sizes would be huge, especially at something with 120 frames at 4K. You'd be, wondering how many hard drives I'd need to store all the footage. So it was great. Yeah.
Now, Amy, a key advantage of this powerful combination is the 4K high frame rate. How did this feature allow you to deliver on your creative vision?
Being able to shoot at a high frame rate at 4K was something that I don't come across every day. Using different cameras and technology, usually you have to drop to a lower resolution or crop in, that kind of thing. I was able to capture things like candle smoke, gently twisting and twirling, along with some pretty epic food smashes on the table. There were a couple of jelly desserts that we got to, one person put their hand in, another got a knee in it, not to mention the birthday cake when the two hands come together and push down. Whereas those moments, if we were shooting at 25 frames, would have happened in the blink of an eye. We've been able to slow down and really see the detail in those moments and really draw that out to create quite an engaging sequence.
Not only does the Ninja 5 Plus allow for high frame rate shooting in ProRes RAW, but like its brother the Ninja 5, it comes back with Atomos features like monitor modes. Could you tell us how these features helped you on set?
Yeah, it was great to be able to use the waveform graph just to make sure that when, especially shooting in low light, I still had the exposure that I needed to be able to work with later in the grade. And it was also fabulous being able to use the false color just to make sure that my skin tones were in check. And yeah.
Are there any other features that you feel helped you on set?
I loved the compact size of the monitor. The fact that it recorded onto SSD cards made it really simple to just keep rolling at such a high frame rate, and playing back was really quick and easy, especially shooting at a high frame rate and being able to see that we were capturing the moments that were crucial. So yeah, I found I didn't have to fumble around too much when trying to find, playback. We could watch things quickly, and the monitor has such high detail in its image that we really didn't miss anything.
Trevor, so as a shooter editor, what kind of tips could you give me to help my workflow in post?
The biggest tip I think I could give you at this point is capture as much information while you're shooting as possible. And by information, I mean metadata, because it'll really help you once you get back into edit. So the Ninja 5 Plus has quite a rich collection of tags that you can add at the time of shooting, which really help you once you get back into edit to organise yourself, remind yourself of what worked, what didn't work, and really help you get through your footage pretty quickly.
What can we anticipate in the future with the Ninja 5 Plus?
Well, given Ninja 5 Plus has a lot more processing power, which allows us to do these 4K high frame rate sequences. There are other things that gives us the freedom and flexibility to put in other features not available on Ninja 5. So, watch this space for some upcoming kind of exciting kind of features that we'll bring in the future.
It's been so great to hear about your experience shooting with the Ninja 5 Plus and Zcam E2 M4 combo. Could each of you just close with a key tip for anyone who wants to shoot in 4K 120p ProRes RAW?
Yeah, I really liked how compact and sort of functional it was in almost like a run and gun sense, even though, our shoot, the nature wasn't run and gun, but I can see myself, using this setup in, different situations and feeling comfortable just with the weight of it, the ergonomics of it, are very user-friendly. So yeah, I feel like this would suit a lot of different environments and styles of shoots.
And Rob?
Yeah, I think coming from a shooter editor perspective, don't be afraid to shoot in 4K RAW. The data amounts aside and being able to work with it efficiently in post is seamless, but also being able to capture the most being able to capture the most on set and then being able to take that back to edit, and you've got a lot more to kind of play with.
Thanks, Amy and Rob. It's great to get a creator's perspective on the kinds of images these two fantastic products can produce. Now, let's hear a few words from the CEO of Zcam, Kinson Liu.
Thank you, James. Thank you very much. I think this cooperation really works out, and a big thank you to our cinematographer, Amy, and also the editor, Rob. You have done an absolutely amazing job. I'm Kinson Lu, CEO of Zcam. We make cinema cameras and also camera accessories together. Well, I hope you really enjoyed the video as much as I do. I mean, I really appreciate it. As you can see, it is a perfect execution. I mean, it's very colorful. I like, how the talents interact with each other. When you get to see the skin tone, it's a cinema camera, so we should deliver those aspects, and they are very important. And thanks to the technology, I mean, with the slow motion, 120 frames per second, this is a very different world. I mean, this is going to enhance the creativity of the people behind the camera and also doing the editing work. I'm really excited about the Atomos NINJA 5 Plus with Zcam because this is the answer to the ongoing demand of our Zcam users who want a real raw solution. And in this case, the NINJA 5 Plus is not only a very good professional monitor, but it provides the capability to do external recording in ProRes RAW format. In addition, this would unlock the unique capability of our Zcam E2 and the Zcam E2 M4 model that is capable to do 4K at 120 frames per second high speed. And this is absolutely amazing when you get to see the footage yourself. I think if you remember last year when we first launched together with Atomos the capability of recording ProRes RAW on the NINJA 5, as Zcam, we want to bring in more features that provides more convenience for our users. For example, I think the camera control is one thing that a lot of our customers really appreciate, and without the help of Atomos, we couldn't have implement this on the NINJA 5 monitor. And so we actually try to think more into this aspect and try to address also the needs of the customer. What should we bring onto our products to continue this development and bringing more convenience? The other good news is not just the Zcam E2 and the E2 M4, but you should also expect that the Zcam E2 S6 and also our full-frame 6K version, the E2 F6, will be joining this family to provide external recording in ProRes RAW format in either 4K 100 frames per second or 4K 120 frames per second, thanks to the Atomos NINJA 5 Plus. Well, thanks for having me. I really enjoy this kind of interaction, the same way as I do with our other end users. And back to you, James.
Well, thank you to everyone here. It's been great to be able to discuss the NINJA 5 Plus and its capabilities when paired with the Zcam E2 M4. We've seen the beautiful content that Amy and Rob have been able to produce. Thank you everyone for joining us. You'll be able to watch Amy's beauty video Birthday Wish and the behind the scenes from the Atomos YouTube channel. And for more content like this, head over to Atomos Academy. Thank you and goodbye.